fabulous fabric from the land of the Five Rivers.
35-40. Midfield, McMahon breaks the tackle. He's gone! 10-5 touchdown! Raiders!
2 years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We back. You already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Man, we are back for another edition of the 50-50 Show. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, we are going live on both our channels, so if you haven't subscribed to both, make sure to go ahead and do so, and obviously like the video, you know, all that good stuff. Hit that notification bell. Man, we back, man. We back yet again, man. Another week, another offseason, the offseason continues, I should say. Man, we got a lot to get into today. I mean, we got some news. There's some things to talk about, like in all sports. It's not even just the Raiders, football, basketball. The offseason is underway for them. But obviously we're going to get into Raiders because former Raiders and rumors and things that we're hearing. We're going to get into all that. Obviously, you know, if you guys see the thumbnail and the title, Darren Waller is now officially unretired. He is back in the NFL, so we'll get into that and where he's gone. And then we heard Michael Mayer was a possible connection to the Dolphins. Is he still? You know, can he still be traded? You know, I don't know. We'll get into that conversation. Obviously, the flags on the play. We'll get into all that, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Man, hey, we got a great show lined up, man. But let's get into, man, before we even get started, man, the night crew. Salute to everybody pulling up. My guy Rick Rock says salute the 50-50 show and Pharaoh and Severe. Man, can't forget my silver and black Raider Nation family. My guy Rick Rock, man, in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. The one and only. Man, my guy Raider Smoke, man, supporting the show as always.
Yeah, always.
Man, appreciate you coming through, man. He says, fellas, everyone like sub to both channels, man. Hey, my God, man. We gotta get Smoke on soon. We gotta get something Smoke on soon, man, for real.
No, definitely.
Hey, you know what? Hey, man, if you're new here, man, you know
exactly.
My God, man. I appreciate you
Come
coming
on,
through. Leo, man,
Leo, you know what's up.
He said we do go on late from time to time. You know, some days might be later, but everybody knows this is the late night show, the 50-50 show. Coach, man, you funny, man. You got jokes, man.
Hey, it's like 1 in the afternoon in like, you know, in like Australia, like in Asia, it's like 1 o'clock.
Right. Down. Let's. Donald says, you guys see us adding any other players before training camp starts? If so, who and what position? But I wish we add Gabe Davis, another D-line or cornerback. We'll get into that because the guy that was connected to the Raiders, Shaquille Griffin, got signed by the Seahawks. He ended up going back to the Seahawks, and that was a guy that I think the Raiders tried out. I think he was able to visit the Raiders, then left without a contract, obviously. So the Raiders kind of like are looking at the cornerback position. Will they sign a guy? Who knows? They didn't sign Shaquille Griffin because I think the Raiders are comfortable with the room. I hope they get a nickel corner. Whoever that is, at least get a nickel corner. If they get a nickel corner, I feel a little bit better because then now I can be like, you know what? Pete Carroll knows how to develop that. He knows what it takes to develop a young room. Obviously, they're big believers in the corner they got in the third round, Darren Porter. So yeah, man, we'll get into that. Man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Matthew, man, this is the wrong show, bro. He wants dating advice, man. This is the wrong show.
Don't worry, man. I'll have her text you in a minute, bro.
Man, hey, we got Myra in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. Man, we got everybody pulling up today, man. We appreciate SoCal Sal in the building. Man, look, it's a late night show. We got everybody pulling up, man. We appreciate it. Smoke, man. Damian Lillard coming back home to the Warriors. I think for Dame, I heard that. I heard that might be a possibility. At this point, I think for Dame, I think it's just a bucket list, you know? Come back home, play for the Warriors, a team that he grew up watching, probably rooting for, going to games. Obviously, he's from Oakland, from the Bay Area. So I can see that happening for real. Is he done? Is he closer to the end than he is? I mean, he's obviously closer to the end. He's closer to the end. Yeah.
I mean, he probably never gonna be like Dame time again, but can he be like a Lou Will off the bench, give you some buckets off the bench type deal? I think he can still do that, you know, and give you flashes of the old Dame, but he already kind of older, coming off that Achilles. Yeah, it's always, you saw what it did to Kobe, you know, at the end of his career. So,
right,
guys don't come back the same. One person that really came back the same from that is like Dominique. Like that's the only person I could think of that came back from that. It was like the same. So,
Durant.
Oh, Durant. Yeah, Durant. But Durant is like never. I guess Dame kind of the same. His game not super athleticism either.
Right.
So
right. And then he's asking you, Severe. He says, "How you feel about Ayton going to the Lake Show?"
It's a big upgrade over what we had at center last year. I mean,
they needed a big too. The Warriors need a big. Ayton would have been nice for the Warriors too.
Yeah. They just lost Looney too.
Yeah, Myra. Yeah, for sure. Dame coming back to the Warriors like Marshawn coming to the Raiders. It's like, you know, childhood
similar results. Similar results.
Damn, Severe, you just on one today. Man, but look, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, like we said, man. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that. Man, Las Vegas A's, baby, now, man. I haven't accepted it. I haven't accepted it yet. That's disgusting. It is what it is.
That's crazy.
R.I.P. to Oakland sports, various sports, man. It's tough.
I still got the well. Technically, I don't play over there no more. But I still got the Warriors technically.
Yeah, but they're like in San Francisco. This is like it ain't the same, bro. It ain't the same. It ain't the same. But let's get into it, man. Darren Waller. Let's just start with Darren Waller, man, because I thought that was so funny because he was just saying the other day in an interview that when he realized that he wanted to retire when they had him running 3 straight running plays as a fullback. So it's like, it's kind of random. Like, it must have been the team. Obviously, like he just wasn't happy with the team. And someone said this on social media. They said it was, I think he was on Gruden's podcast, and he said something to the effect, I guess, like on there, that he would be willing to come back if Gruden came back to coach, or if he could play under Frank Smith, OC, for the Dolphins.
And guess what?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? He's playing for the Dolphins. But we'll see how it shakes out, because initially we thought another Raider tight end, a current Raider tight end, was going to get traded. It seemed like. Yeah. Like there was a little bit of interest of Michael Mayer.
Yeah.
That obviously didn't happen. Could it still happen? Do you think it's a possibility? I mean, because Darren Waller coming back, age 33, towards the latter part of his career before he retired, he's kind of an injury prone player.
Exactly my point. He already missed a lot of time. I mean, I saw that rumor, and I thought, okay, possibly, I could see it happening. But then I saw that there was a certain Raiders beat writer that said that the Raiders are definitely not going to trade Michael Mayer to the Dolphins. And I'm like, damn, this is for sure. He getting traded to the Dolphins. It's just a matter of time now. So I don't know. I don't know how much this Darren Waller thing affects it, just because they only gave up a 6th-round pick. So it's not like they gave up any kind of crazy assets. And if they still feel they need a guy, I thought they had a tight end. I forgot who it was. I thought that they had a tight end.
Jonas Smith was included in the
Jonas
trade.
Smith got trade.
Yeah.
I thought they had another guy. I want to say that.
There's another guy on the roster.
Do they have, or did they get rid of Mike Gesicki? I thought they had Mike Gesicki.
Gesicki, is he even still in the
Bengals? No, he's not. I think he's with them. I was with them.
The Bengals?
I thought Mike Gesicki was with them.
Yeah, he's not with the Dolphins no more. Dolphins saw Waller's Beaches Well music video. Owner said, Johnson, that is a Dolphin. Get me Waller on the squad. Yeah, man. You know what? Hey, look. He's not there to be the main guy. So and they got speed everywhere. Like, they got a lot of speed on that team, man. And now you put in Darren Waller. I know he's age 33, but he's still pretty fast for a tight end. Yeah, pretty athletic, pretty fast for a tight end. Because if you just think about who's going to be guarding him, it's going to be a lot of linebackers, safeties, and he can run. Yeah. It's just, can he stay healthy? So I don't know. Michael Mayer, me personally, and shout out to, I think Rundown was talking about it. Like, at this point in the offseason, I wouldn't want to trade. I wouldn't want to trade Michael Mayer. Maybe before the draft. I agree with that sentiment. Like, before it, because then now you're able to plan like accordingly. Okay, you're getting rid of a Michael Mayer. Maybe you look at a draft where there were some good tight ends available. I'm not saying that they would have done that, but maybe free agency, maybe they. It seems like now a little too late, unless they offer. I'll say What's an offer that you couldn't refuse? First,
A third.
thirds, obviously first, second, no hesitation.
Yeah,
Third round, like also no hesitation. But fourth, I'm like,
Fourth, I'm not doing. Fourth, I'm like, yeah, I gotta do better.
Man,
than that.
we need the weapon on offense. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I like the idea of 12 personnel. I want to see what Chip Kelly can do with that. Like, if he's that good of an OC, finally can we see that 12 personnel and what that can look like with a good play caller. And we all know that the Raiders are gonna run the ball with Genty, but imagine running the ball, play action, and you got Brock Bowers, you got Michael Mayer with guys that can't cover him, and then you got, Dante Thornton, wide open deep. You know what I mean? Like, we would hope. Jacoby Myers, you know what I mean? Hopefully.
I mean, according to our boy Steve Smith, we drafted another tight end in round 2 anyway, so maybe we can trade Michael Mayer.
You say that again?
So according to our boy Steve Smith, we already drafted another tight end in round 2, so maybe we can trade Michael Mayer.
Right now, it's not a lot of talk about Jack Besh. During the OTAs, like Dante Thornton was the guy that everybody was talking about and getting a lot of reps with first team. So it's still early. I mean, training camp is when the pads go on, obviously preseason. So we'll see what Jack Besh is going to do during that time, which is when it really counts and matters. So a guy like Dante Thornton is obviously going to shine in, like, shorts and stuff like that because they're just running. You know what I mean? He's fast. Like, of course he's gonna be killing. Man, if Reese says if Waller gets hurt, he's in a place they have A1. Sheesh. Everybody going at Waller right now, man. I like Waller, man. To be honest with you.
I like Waller too.
He seemed like a cool dude, man. Darren Waller is too emotional for the game. His emotions, his marriage, and football didn't mix too well. His fast lifestyle. Yeah. I mean, he did have, some issues in his life that he, overcame, and obviously, said he had some stuff that he went through. But I don't know, man. I like, in the right situation, Waller can be a weapon, bro. Yeah. Waller was basically, if he was healthy, he was like easily like he was arguably our best weapon on offense.
Oh, for sure. He was for sure our best weapon.
He was just unreliable.
It was him and Josh. Him and Josh were our best weapons, like skill position wise.
Reese says Waller equals Carl Anthony Towns. Yeah, but no type of player. Carl Anthony Towns, that's a crazy comparison. Because I know the way you're trying to compare him.
Yeah, that's not the way we think of it. Man, the internet is crazy though. That's
my God.
I know what he means though. I know what he means.
Yeah. Myra with the super chat, man. I appreciate you supporting the show. She says Waller's rap career was as crazy as Drake's fake abs. Damn, that's that's disgusting.
That was gonna be flag on the play. I didn't know how many people would get that. That's
definitely flag on the play. That's actually a good one. If you would have, I mean, we got some other ones lined up, but that's for sure flag on the play worthy. Him and old boy
Big Shine. It was crazy, bro.
So that's real? You can get fake abs?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Apparently, bro, you see it. We see it, bro. I was like, yo, this looks crazy.
That's
like
sad.
And have that kind of confidence too, man. Hey, power to him, man. To just walk around, have that kind of confidence to just show them things off. Like, yo, man, it's my fake abs. Like, all right.
That's sad. That's sad. A man just getting fake abs though, like that's not a good look. Waller yak yards are negative. How is that possible?
Maybe last year, maybe with the Giants. Yeah, for career-wise, I don't see how that could be.
BBL Drizzy. Wasn't it? Oh, my God. Now that song makes so much sense.
Yeah, facts. That's what they was talking about it.
We got 49er fans in here. 49er Renzo, man. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, for salute.
But Hey man, I'm gonna let you know, man. If things get out of hand here, you know. where are let's see, are my mods in here?
Snipers.
Nah, but every fan is welcome, man. I'm just messing with you. You say you can get a yeah, of course, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let's not get Myra started. Myra getting too excited. We're not gonna get Myra started.
Myra's getting a little. Hey, this is late night Myra, man. She coming out, man. Coming out. Oh man, but yeah. So, you know, obviously the Dolphins got Darren Waller, Michael Mayer. Obviously didn't get traded for, but if the Dolphins come back calling and say, "Hey, you know what? We'll give a conditional third." I don't even know if you would accept a conditional third because what happens if Darren Waller's killing it and you don't get that? When you think that's a little too risky, like it's would you accept like a fourth rounder that can turn into a third? Too risky.
No, I'm gonna need a third. I'm gonna need a third. I'm gonna need a third straight up.
Yeah, because that low key's kind of derailing our offseason. Yeah, you're kind of saying like, you know what, this season ain't. You're RIP to this season, basically. Like, yeah, it's late in off season. Like, it sounds like everybody's excited about Michael Mayer once again. You know.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just get into that. Let's get into this conversation. Breakout candidate. I wanted to talk about this. Like, this is a good time to talk about it. Like, free agency, draft, OTAs happen. Who's the guy that you see is having a breakout season this year?
I think Michael Mayer is that guy. That's part of the reason why I don't want to. It's part of the reason why I don't want to get rid of him. I give up on him so early. Because even if you put Michael Mayer in this draft class, being how even like if you put him at his age, I think he's like 23 in this draft class, he's probably still second round pick. Like so we're gonna sell low and give up a fourth for him. Like I'm not doing that. And just the fact that he got Chip Kelly there, kind of working his magic with that 12 personnel. He has a quarterback that's actually pretty proficient when it comes to throwing the ball to tight ends. He runs good routes, has good hands. He's also a good blocker. He'll be able to do some of the. He's athletic enough to kind of do some of the stuff in terms of pulling as a tight end that Chip Kelly likes to do when he has like multiple pullers in the run game. So I think he offers you all of that stuff. Plus, more upside offensively than a lot of these traditional blocking type tight ends. So, I definitely think he's a guy that can have a kind of a big year. Hopefully, he's able to put all the other stuff behind him in the past, and come into the season with a clear head and just focused on being the best player he can be.
But it's crazy though that like we're looking at Michael Mayer as a blocking tight end, but when he was drafted coming in, like. It was about his receiving skills, not his blocking skills, his receiving skills. And then obviously we seen being honest, like the receiving skills in Brock Bowers kind of overshadows like the fact that Michael Mayer actually could be a weapon on offense. But it just takes solid QB play and maybe a good offensive coordinator maybe to get him involved. Cause you can see this happen. This happens a lot in sports where sometimes there's too many mouths to feed. Like there's too many weapons. There's too many. One guy is gonna take, like when Miami Heat had LeBron and D Wade and Chris Bosh. Who was the guy that had to sacrifice the most? Chris Bosh. You know what I mean? It's just that it is what it is. Like Raiders offense over the years was what Devontae, Darren Waller was on the squad for a little bit, but you gotta also think about Josh Jacobs running the football. The QB play was really inconsistent. And then the following year you got Brock Bowers who played the same position as you, and he was basically like just give them all like you have to, right? Because he's getting like crazy separation. Whoever was guarding him, like no one could stay with him. I mean, he had a historical rookie season. But yeah, I think that's a good choice for a breakout candidate. Obviously, JPJ is a guy that we kind of can see like being a stalwart on the offensive line. That's an easy guy that you can throw in there having a breakout year. Everybody kind of can predict that one just because like we were all excited about him being on the offensive line, big personality. But now he's going to play that center position, which is, you think about it, like when you have a good center, I just feel like everything kind of comes together. Remember, like with Rodney Hudson for years, the Raider offensive line was pretty solid because you had a guy in the middle, Rodney Hudson holding it down. Now we got JPJ. I would say breakout candidate. I'm gonna throw in Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker, breakout candidate. And I know you're gonna be like, "What? T-Rex arms? Are you gonna the T-Rex arms gonna be the breakout candidate?" But from what we're hearing in camp, he's going into his third season. Usually that's the big year where players kind of like, figure it out and have a really good season. On top of that, Chip Kelly is going to be a guy that's probably going to know how to use Trey Tucker's skill set. And like so far, what we've been hearing on the guys that's been starting on the outside has been Tucker and Thornton. I don't know if that's going to stay the same. Obviously, Jacoby Myers, obviously, he's going to be a big part of the offense. He's a starter, but they've been playing him in the slot mostly. So a guy like Tucker is probably going to be, be used in a way where it's going to maximize his skill set, and that's going to be a deep threat, running deeper routes. He's fast. He's not the biggest guy. Like, get this guy in space. So I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna say Trey Tucker is gonna have a breakout year. I was thinking about Michael Mayer, but I'm gonna throw Trey Tucker out there. Trey Tucker is gonna be. I know you got something to say, man. You got like that smirk, like you're like, you know what?
I got nothing, bro. I got nothing.
This is what Samir's saying in his head.
I'm wishing Trey Tucker the best. Wishing him the best, man.
Demo says Genty gonna go crazy. Yeah, I want to see Genty's probably the most, obviously the player that I'm looking forward to watch the most. Just I want to see what it looks like in the NFL with his talent. Like the way he was able to dominate in college, can he bring that to the NFL? If he can do that, damn, like that makes the Raiders like a problem. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like it's just anytime, and I know in previous shows I keep saying that 2026 is going to be the Raiders season. It's going to take another offseason where I can feel real confident the Raiders are going to make the playoffs. And the reason why I say that is because anytime where I feel like I'm saying the Raiders a lot of things got to go right for the Raiders in order for them to at least make the playoffs, that means they're probably a season away. You know what I mean? And another good offseason away. Or another big piece away. But you never know. Pete Carroll, a lot of good energy with Pete Carroll. So we'll see what it looks like. Myra says if Tyrus has a breakout year, I'll eat boneless wings live.
Yeah. You're safe, Myra. You are safe.
Farrell line on Tucker. What? Am I? Does it look like Severe just took my answer? I think did it look like it? All right, it is what it is. It is what it is, man.
You could have went Palomino. You could have went,
And I could have went. I could have went with someone on defense. You know what I mean? I could have did that. Yeah. But I'm gonna give Tucker a chance, man. Third year, breakout year. DJ Glaze, yeah, that'd have been an offensive line. Yeah, I could have stayed on the offensive line. I did say JPJ. I gotta give me benefit of the doubt. Come on now.
You want Trey Tucker though, man? Okay, all right, man. All right, hey.
Taddy says 707 says more catches, Besh or Thornton?
Probably Besh.
Yeah,
probably Besh because he's gonna be more of a possession kind of guy. But if they running it like they've been running it, where it's like Thornton on the outside, Thornton and Tucker on the outside, and Jacoby in the slot, then that doesn't leave a lot of opportunities for Besh to really be on the field that often. So it's tough. If I had to really like bet on it, I'm putting money on Besh.
Yeah, I mean that's his game. His game is he's like a volume catcher. Like he's gonna catch the underneath route. He's gonna be a guy that's gonna get the yak yards and get those tough yards. Thornton is more. I would see A better question would be like, or a better answer would probably be like, Thornton's going to have more yards, probably. Could possibly have more yards than Besh, and Besh will probably have more catches. So,
Yeah.
but we'll see, man, because I don't know, man. I don't know how it's all going to fit. That's the thing. It's a good question because you don't know how it's all going to fit. Like, I can see where Thornton could fit, but Besh, I want to see how they're going to use him with Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer on the football. Like, are they just going to sub him in and just have him play certain, snaps in a game? But I'm like, doesn't that kind of take away from his impact on offense a little bit? Like, I don't know. We'll see. Is he going to play in the inside mostly or on the outside? Like you made a joke earlier about like Steve Smith calling him a tight end. I mean, that's a real question.
Yeah.
It's a real question.
That's facts. And like I said, we drafted him in the second round. So it's like, you got to get something out of him. You got to get something out of him.
Yeah. 7-7 said, okay, more touchdowns. Damn, I could see Thornton getting some like long touchdowns though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could see Thornton on some bombs.
Yeah, and then like maybe like a fade. Fader. But is that in his route tree? Like does he have that like in his tool bag? I mean, I haven't seen that. I've seen him moss some people, but like on a deep route. I don't know if he's done it where he has like beat someone off the line.
Go up and get it. I don't really see that in his tool bag, to be honest with you. Not yet. Because remember, he had like a 33-inch vert, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
He's 6'5", but still though, he's 6'5", 33-inch vert. It's still all bad. So,
you know what we're like literally like talking about right here? One's gonna get 2 touchdowns, the other's gonna get 3. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, or one's gonna get 3, or the other's gonna get 1. Like it's just.
I'm gonna go Thornton. I'm gonna go Thornton. I think on some long touchdowns. I think Thornton get some.
Yeah, because in the red zone, you got to think like it's gonna be Brock Bowers, it's gonna be Michael Mayer, it's gonna be Jacoby Myers, and then you got to think Ashton Genty too. Like they're just gonna run the ball. You know what I'm saying? So.
Because Thornton, you can. It doesn't have to just be like a deep shot. It can be like a crosser, where he just gets loose over the middle of the field and just turns the jets on. He gets up to the sideline. He's gone. So I'm gonna go Thornton.
Yeah. Well, look, that wasn't the only trade. Darren Waller getting traded to the Dolphins. Did you hear about the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade with obviously the Dolphins trading Jalen Ramsey to the Steelers? And Fitzpatrick started his career with the Dolphins, huh? He started his career with the Dolphins. So he pretty much went back home.
Yeah.
And then also included in the trade was their starting tight end, so that's kind of what brought Darren Waller into the fold or made that deal happen. What did you think of the move?
I mean, it lets me know that Pittsburgh is all in this year. Pittsburgh, they not playing no games. They must have saw something in Aaron Rodgers that I didn't see. And it's also wild because they got DK Metcalf and Jalen Ramsey on the same team. That's going to be interesting in and of itself. But yeah, I think Pittsburgh, they're pushing all their chips to the middle of the table. And Aaron Rodgers said basically it's not likely that he's going to play in after this season. So it's one last ride for him. And I think that, the Steelers, I think they're going to go all in and hope they can win a Super Bowl this year. So we'll see if it pays off. They're
going all in. And on top of that, like Tomlin is trying to answer the critics.
Yeah.
Even though like what he's done is like crazy, like impressive. Like the fact that you haven't had a losing season like ever. Has he ever had a losing? He's never had a losing season. But the fact that they've gone to the playoffs and they haven't really had the success of like winning multiple playoff, like, making a long Super Bowl, like, long run in the playoffs. That hasn't happened in a while since, Roethlisberger was there. I think that's probably what it is. I think Tomlin is like, you know what? He's going all in. He's getting a lot of veterans on a football team because it's not just Aaron Rodgers. It's not just Jalen Ramsey. If you look at some of the players that they picked up over the offseason, like they're all like in their 30s, kind of like basically ready to win now.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, like that usually doesn't work.
Usually.
But when it has worked, if you're a real Raider fan, when it has worked, was back in 02. Because that was an old veteran-led team.
Yes.
I mean, your starting receivers were like damn near in their 40s, almost, like pretty much, like late 30s, you know, approaching their 40s with Jerry Rice and Tim Brown, but all-time greats though, you know. And then you got obviously, you know, MVP of the league, Rich Gannon, but he was kind of approaching his 40s as well. Like he was getting up there in age. The defense, man, I remember like the Bill Romanowskis, John Perellas, man,
Trace. You told me about our guy Trace
Armstrong. Who else? Who else am I forgetting? I'm forgetting some guys. Obviously, Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson was like what 37, 38 when he came to the Raiders.
Yeah,
but he had like 8 picks that season. But I'm just saying,
Eric Allen was pretty old too.
Eric Allen, he wasn't a part of that 02 team. No, I think he was on the 2000 or 99 team.
Oh, okay, he was gone already.
Yeah. He wasn't on the Super Bowl team. It was for that year. The starting corners were Charles Woodson and damn, who's on the other side? Oh man, this is gonna mess me up. Not Philip Buchanan. It was another corner.
Was it Fabian?
No. Fabian came like
Fabian's later, right?
05.
Later, right? Yeah, because that was
02
the
Super Bowl year. Hey, this is actually a good question. Shout out to all the Raider fans in the building, man.
Fabian was drafted right before A-Rod. So yeah, that was after. Who was across?
Let us know in the chat, man. Who was the starting corner opposite of Charles Woodson? And he got hurt. Charles Woodson got hurt that year.
And you said it wasn't Philip Buchanan, right?
Nah, Philip Buchanan might have gotten PT because of maybe Charles Woodson getting hurt. Damn, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to look this up, man. This is
Damn, trying to think.
It's a name. I know the name, but it just tip my tongue. You know what I mean? Like I gotta.
Trying to think who was back there. 'Cause we already had Anthony Dorsett back there, right? He was one of the safeties.
Hold on. Let's see.
I think Charles Woodson. Was it
2002. Tory James. Tory
James.
SoCal Sal, man. Appreciate it, bro. Right there, man. You're a real one.
Oh yeah, because Eric Allen left. He leave when we lost to. Was that the Ravens game? His last game.
He might have retired after 99 or 2000. I don't know.
I just know the Ravens game would have been his last one then. We lost to the Ravens.
Let's see. Let me double check. So he played what he played in the AFC Championship game.
Did he play against the one with? I'm trying to think. Is that the last one he played? Is that the? Because was he there for the Patriots?
Oh, he played. Oh shit! Eric Allen played in He played in 98.
He got the. That's when he got to us from the Eagles.
Oh, he played from 98 to 2001.
Okay, 2001. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was
2001. So 2001, yeah, he probably played in that. So he played in the snow game.
The snow game. That's crazy. So that was his last game. That's trash. That's terrible.
Damn, that's heartbreaking,
terrible.
bro. That shit was. I ain't gonna lie, that was sad.
Yeah, that's
that was like my first like memory. Like I'm sure other people have like, you know, crazy memory with the Raider fans and getting screwed by the refs, but that one was where I was like, damn, F the NFL, man. Like it's the Raiders versus the NFL. Like after that, I was like, when I witnessed that, I was like, what? How did they not call that a fumble? I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Tom Brady said it was a fumble on the field. Tom Brady straight up said, "I don't know what they're reviewing. It was a fumble."
Bro, I hated the Patriots. I hated Tom Brady.
Yeah, I did too.
And the thing is, it was really the ref that called the play. Like,
Yeah,
but it was just the fact that they capitalized off that and act like it was like, oh, they come on. It was game over, man.
It's infuriating.
The Hall of Famer made a Hall of Fame play. Charles Woodson forced a fumble. Game over. We should have played Pittsburgh. We would have beat Pittsburgh, but I don't know if we would have beat the Rams though. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know if we'd have beat the Rams either.
The Rams
were
Rams,
they're hella good.
In 02, Rams in 02, if y'all remember when the Raiders started 4-0 and then they lost 4 straight. One of the 4 they got their ass whooped by the Rams too that year.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. His entire career was manufactured. Man, coach, man, you be going in.
Killing.
You be going in. But yeah, man, Jalen Ramsey, that's a good fit. It's a good fit, man, because I know he wants to win. Yeah. He goes to a team that values defense, so it kind of fits him. Fitzpatrick, I know he got hurt, but damn, trading them, that was like a shrewd move. Like, hey, we getting Jalen Ramsey. Like, so I guess it was a no-brainer for them. They got an upgrade, but Fitzpatrick is a pretty good player though, when healthy. So, but I think he's in his 30s now. Like, I think he's like early 30s.
It's make it. Yeah, it's about right. See, he got drafted out of Alabama. I can't remember what year. It seems like he's been around for a little while though. Yeah, but just giving up Jonnu too, that kind of hurts.
But Jonnu wanted a new contract. They didn't want to do that. Did you see Mostert talk some trash?
Yeah, cooking
about the Dolphins.
Yeah, cooked. But obviously, there's some bad blood because he was with the Dolphins too. So they didn't bring him back either. So you know how that goes.
Yeah, because he was like, oh yeah, if you're a Pro Bowler, some. Let me pull out the quote, man. Pull out the quote, but yeah, he was talking trash, man.
Yeah.
Coach says, I have more respect for Mahomes and Chiefs than I do for Patriots, Brady, and Belichick. Damn, you know what? I hate the Chiefs though. So that's actually, hate is a very strong word. It's a very strong word. It's very, I am not gonna lie. I'm casually throwing that word hate, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do not like the Chiefs. Like, I want the Raiders. Like, I really want the Raiders to win. Like, to beat them. Even back in the day, like, out of all the teams, I'm not gonna lie. Who was the team that you hated the most?
Chargers.
Because of Schottenheimer, I hated Schottenheimer. I hate Schottenheimer.
I hated LT. I hated LT, and I hated Rivers too.
I hated Schottenheimer, and I hated Mike Shanahan, like, with a passion. Because they, you know why? Because they hated the Raiders, and you could tell they would do things.
Oh yeah.
To
Mike Shanahan had a good reason to hate the Raiders, though.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Mike Shanahan,
too bad.
Mike Shanahan had a good reason to hate the Raiders. So that's
probably.
He had very good reason to hate the Raiders. Mike Schottenheimer, I just didn't like Martin Schottenheimer. He was just I just hated that dude. I just could not stand Martin Schottenheimer. I couldn't stand the Chargers. Couldn't stand their players. Their uniforms were ugly as hell with that ugly lightning bolt on there.
This is debatable, Coach. Debatable. But I can see why you could say the Patriots, obviously, because they been around. Their run was a lot longer, and Chiefs are still in it right now. But last year, the Chiefs, I felt like the refs are basically wearing Chiefs, jerseys under their uniform.
But they were doing it. They were doing it to the Patriots too, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna compare it right now, just because it's like, we could deflate gay, and then like, come on, we just got done talking about the fumble.
Yeah.
Let's see. You can't argue with old Patriot success. You can't argue with old Patriot success. Yeah, I can argue with it just a little bit. They cheated. They cheated.
Documented cheating. It's not even like.
But the thing is though, I will say though, like wasn't there like a famous Raiders quote back in the day when the Raiders were in their heyday as far as like being a great team? Like,
oh yeah,
you ain't trying if you ain't cheating.
Yeah, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess that's what the good teams do. I guess because the Lakers, when they were three-peating, people were talking about them like, oh, they cheated.
Yeah,
the refs cheated them out. Against the Kings.
Point to that one game. They pointed that one game. Yeah, against the Kings.
One game. And guess what? It was Game 7 at home for Sacramento. Peja was airballing. They chose.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
Mixed. They got mixed.
Get out of here, man. Y'all you said you hate the Eagles in New York. That's crazy. I would think like.
I think he's in New York and he hates the Eagles, so he's probably a Giants.
Okay.
You Giants fan or something like that? You into that? Or maybe he probably got to deal with them more because he's over there.
Yeah, because he's if he's a Jets fan, then I can see him hating the Patriots. But if he's a Giants fan, then obviously the Eagles would be a team to hate in that division for sure. Bro, I hated Shot because he hated the Raiders for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. Facts.
For no reason.
Just a curmudgeon-y ass old man, bro. I couldn't stand Marty Schottenheimer. Mike Shanahan was a jerk too, but like we did Mike Shanahan dirty, so like he had every reason to dislike the Raider organization and Al Davis especially. Hey, Al Davis still owing money like to this day. Yeah. He still owes him unless Mark Davis like paid him under the table. But
I hated Mike Shanahan though. I hated Mike Shanahan for sure. Like
I did too.
Because I understand business like that's between Al Davis and him, and like for sure there was probably some shady stuff about it. But when they played the Raiders, it was like he couldn't wait to run up the score.
Oh, like, he could not.
He was gonna like it could be the fourth quarter. They're up like 14-15. Up 21, he's gonna do a play action and throw it deep. That's what he'll do. Play action, throw it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Rod Smith, go get you one.
Man.
Go get you one, Rod.
But Schottenheimer, he would say shit like, and I used to hate it, but it was true because
it was true.
It's true. He used to say the Raiders would find a way to lose. Bro, I hated that shit though. I was like, oh my god, I hate Schottenheimer.
We kept doing it. That's the thing though. That we always would. Bro, that's what pissed me off. But yeah,
you say you're in New York. Are you a Giants fan? You a Giants fan or Jets fan?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, the Chargers uniforms are ugly. The uniforms are ugly. They didn't have no swag. Only person that had swag on their team was LT. Everybody else was, even like Junior Seau was a great player. He had no swag. Like they just a whole bunch of like dorks over there. I just hated those dudes, man. I just hated those. They were just some straight busters, like
bro. SoCal, man. I hated Shanahan too, man. I hated the Broncos too. But then it kind of switched over to the Chiefs. I hated the Chiefs too. It was like, it's division rivals. Like you hate them all.
Yeah.
But it's just.
But I never hated the Chiefs as much because I secretly always liked Priest Holmes. So like I couldn't.
Yeah, Priest Holmes is nice, Chiefs. Bro. Priest Holmes. But I like LaDainian Thompson. I just hated that he played for the Chargers.
I hated LT, bro. I hated LT.
LaDainian Thompson. I hated LT. He's one of the best running backs I've ever seen in my life.
Facts. I hate LT because he got traded for Vic. And people always try to like compare LT and Vic, and I just didn't like. So that made me hate LT.
Okay, but LaDainian Thompson, I ain't gonna lie, he was clean. But it's just like, damn, why did you have to play for the Chargers? If you just played for any other team, obviously if you played for the Raiders, it would have been beautiful. But Yeah, man. AFC West just had teams and fans that make my skin crawl. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
How you feel about Detroit Lions, man? Detroit Lions, man. I think Raider fans kind of can relate to the Detroit fans, and they can appreciate from afar, like, man, like if the Raiders just can get their own version going. Yeah. It said we got a 70-some-year-old coach, but that's neither here or there. We thought we had that in Antonio Pierce. We're comparing him and Dan Campbell a little bit. Maybe we spoke too soon. Maybe they fired him a little bit. That's a whole different conversation. Yeah. But like Detroit, I kind of, that's the team that I want to say that I'm rooting for. But like, if it came down to Detroit and any other team in the playoffs, I want Detroit to win because it's a good story. It's a better story. You know what I mean? Like in the NFL, especially like if you think about it, I don't want to see the Eagles win. I know there's Eagles fans in here. I don't want to see the Eagles win. I don't want to see any team from the AFC West, obviously. Patriots, no. I'm tired of seeing that. I want to see like a team that like a starving fan base, you know what I mean? Like and Detroit is definitely one of those starving fan bases. Like they need a team to win. Because they ain't have, I don't know, when's the last time a team has won anything in Detroit? The Tigers won.
I don't think the Tigers won. The Red Wings were dominant for a while.
Yeah,
that's like
hockey team. Okay.
The Red Wings were dominant. They like dynastic team in hockey for a long time.
Pistons won a championship, back in the day, back in like in early 2000s.
Yeah, when they beat the Lakers. Yeah.
And they beat the Lakers, which was crazy. That was a huge upset. But everybody forgets about that team just because they won one.
Yeah, and it was like an obscure ass team. It's like
they didn't have like big stars. It was like a collection of like
it's a collection of really good players.
Really good players. Yeah.
And then like the NBA changed the rule later, but that's how they end up getting like Rasheed Wallace, like mid-season, and that's what kind of changed their team.
The Raider says my hate in order. Niners. Oh yeah, I hated Niners, but I hated the Niners because of Niner fans. Because it was like a little rivalry, growing up in the Bay Area. I'm sure like. I just hated them. But it was nothing really about them. It was just more about like, for me at least. Niners, I agree that Niners are up there too. Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs. I grew up with the Chiefs second ass with us, so I look at them differently. Well, what this is how big a Raider fan. I used to look at all-time record. I used to look at the all-time record. And the Raiders, I think they dominate the Broncos, the Chargers, but the Chiefs, I think they overtook the Raiders because it was close. Let me see the all-time record. So I used to pay attention to shit like that. I don't know why. Let me see, Raiders, all-time record versus the Chiefs.
You don't got the Cowboys on there, the Raider. You slipping, bro.
The Chiefs lead the overall series 75-55-2.
Damn. They got a smooth ass lead.
Yeah, but it was close. When I say it was close, I'm talking about like early 2000s.
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
Then like
the Chiefs trash ever since. Though.
Oh yeah, Chiefs are like before John Gruden won that game in Arrowhead, like they were on like a crazy winning streak. Winning streak. Fam, I hate Denver Broncos, then the Niners. Okay, I ain't mad at you. You said I'm old. I saw the Giants at Yankee Stadium before Meadowlands. Saw 69 Jets at shit. Ooh, damn. Hey, been there, done that, huh?
Dang,
you seen it all, man. Okay. See some history. Yeah, man. Schottenheimer was.
I mean, exactly. Man, I hate Marty Schottenheimer. Yeah, that dude.
Hey, Can you fill me in on this, man? People talking about this. Al giving Shanahan the Bobby Vanilla contract. What's up? Why are people talking about Bobby Vanilla? Are you?
Because he got signed to this crazy, like, you know how he got the Steve Young contract, but in baseball, where like every July 1st, I think he gets like $3 million. Like he gets like three or like he gets like no, it's maybe not 3 million, but like he gets like it's more than $1 million. I think I say every July 1st, he gets until like 2035, something crazy like that. Like they still got to pay him.
Damn.
Almost like Steve Young. Steve Young's still getting money from USFL.
Damn, because I seen a funny meme, but now it makes sense. Now it makes hella sense. I'm gonna send it to you later, bro. But I think it's I don't know what team it is. I don't watch baseball like that. But yeah, I just saw it the other day. They were talking about it, because every year they bring it up. It's like Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. And like he just made $2 million, whatever, however much it is, from I think it's the Mets. It's a bad team. I think it's the Mets or the Cubs. The Mets or the Cubs. It's one of those teams that's cursed to never win. Even though the Cubs. I don't think the Mets have won. I don't think the Mets have won.
It's probably the Mets things. The Cubs won. They broke the curse not that long ago.
Yeah, the Cubs, but it was like over 100 years, like before they even.
Yeah, that's forever.
Like
That's what I'll be thinking. Like people think, oh, man, the Raiders gonna win eventually. I'm like, man, I'm looking at Cubs fans. Like I saw the old ass Cubs fans that finally got to see the team win a pin. I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy.
Tyler Dan says Jamal Charles. I was a fan. So you said you were a fan of Jamal Charles? Yeah, Jamal. He was good. He was good.
He was nice though. I hated he do that little run where he put his head down. That's when you know he was gone. He put his head down, you know it was touchdown.
He was gone. He was underrated too. Like no one really talks about him, but he was dominating for a second.
I think he was a 3rd round pick. I want to say he was 3rd out of Texas because he was undersized.
Fast. Like legit 4.3 speed. Yeah. Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, let's move it along real quick, man. So do you think, and I guess this kind of speaks to an earlier question where someone was asking about like what positions could we look to upgrade? And recently the Raiders brought in Shaquille Griffin, cornerback, for a visit, maybe to upgrade the room, add a veteran, maybe they move some guys around, maybe have a better guy at nickel, but he ended up signing with the Seahawks. Do you think that's a position that the Raiders are still going to be looking to sign, or is there another position that we're not talking about that they're going to upgrade?
Maybe Mike Hilton at nickel. Maybe that's somebody they kick the tires on from the Bengals. But if it's not him, I mean, they could just stand pat, and that's not something I thought. I thought they'd make like a few moves between the end of mandatory minicamp and training camp. I thought they, hey, now we got the time to kind of look over the league, see what's available, look at what our guys did in these mandatory minicamps. See if there's some weak spots in the roster, some depth issues anywhere. We can kind of address them right now, but it's not looking like they're going to do that. So they, full disclaimer, they can always just make a crazy flurry of moves right before training camp, or make some moves while training camp is going on. Especially the veterans don't like to do training camp, so there might be some veterans guys out there that are just sitting and waiting, like, they're not gonna sign with nobody until after training camp. That's always a possibility too, but right now it's not looking like the Raiders do anything. Looking like they're gonna just stand pat with this young secondary.
I mean, I'm still not confident about our nickel corner situation, and I know you could have a great D line, you could have a good D line, but if no one can cover, just that could be an issue all year. So, and a nickel corner could be an issue for us all year. But we'll see. There's a lot of time that between now and training camp and but they kind of told on themselves that they're looking to bring a veteran cornerback by bringing him in. That means they do want to add someone to the room. They haven't brought in a receiver, even though we've heard rumors about saying that the Raiders are interested in Amari Cooper and yada yada yada, but he hasn't signed yet, which might mean that maybe his price tag might be too high. I don't know. Who knows? But we'll see. If he gets signed, that means my Trey Tucker having a breakout season might. I'm gonna take that back.
I'd almost rather have Trey Tucker have a breakout season than bring him Cooper back.
Man, you hate a Cooper that bad? Like, damn, that's crazy.
I don't even hate him that bad. I don't hate him. I just
you hate his guts.
I'd rather have a young guy than
You
Cooper
randomly
out
hate
here.
you randomly hate certain players like Josh. You hate Josh Jacobs.
I hate Josh Jacobs. I hate Josh Jacobs. I can't even say what I want to say, but I hate Josh Jacobs for other reasons. I always liked Amari Cooper. It's just like I just don't want him at this point because he's old. Right. He was kind of soft. He was always dropping passes. It's like I don't. We don't need that on our team. I rather if we want somebody that's gonna be dropping passes, I'd let Trey Tucker do that. Why am I paying Amari Cooper extra money to watch him drop passes? Like we got somebody in house to do that.
Damn, this is crazy that this was also the case that the Seahawks were a division rival too. But shit, that I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like that's kind of a little bit. When I start watching the Raiders, it like really like paying attention to them. They made that switch over to the NFC.
Yeah.
Like they. So it's kind of like I didn't have the time to like develop that hatred that I have for all these other teams, like I did, basically with every other team.
Yeah, that was before the expansion, before the Panthers and the Jaguars were added. So that was like,
D-line more important than DBs.
Oh yeah,
good point. Christian Wilkins, being hurt. Maybe they look to add maybe some depth there, maybe another guy, maybe some competition.
No, facts. I mean, pass rush is more important. It's the most important. You see, Eagles got it done with great D line and a fairly young secondary.
Mm-hmm. Man, if only Asante Samuel Jr. was healthy, that would have been cool. But his issues, though, I don't know if they want a guy at nickel corner who can't tackle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like that's gonna be a big issue. Especially because they're gonna want to run. Like I think Patrick Graham in the past, like with this team, like he's run a lot. He's played a lot of nickel. And if you play a lot of nickel, that means you gotta whoever's in there gotta stop the run at some point. And if nickel corner can't tackle, then it's Rap City. That's why Nate Hobbs letting him kind of go was kind of like that contract. They could have manipulated that contract where it could have been a 1-year deal, and which essentially I think it was, right? Was it a 1-year deal?
Yeah, basically it was like a 2-year, $8 million deal essentially.
Yeah, they could have did that. They could have did that, man. And he kind of fits what Pete Carroll likes.
Yeah,
as a DB.
Yeah,
I just. If we want to be real and we want to criticize the offseason, there was they could have been a little bit more aggressive, just a little bit, but it is what it is. Nate Hobble, yeah, I know.
That's cold. It's cold, Marty. It's cold, Marty Mart. Slow.
Yeah. But hey, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. But yeah, man, let's get into let's get into flag on the play. Get on flag on the play real quick, man. You already know what time it is.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business. He played it there.
Flag on the play this week, man. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and start it off. What's the first flag on the play, Severe?
So this guy is a repeat offender. He's had as many flags thrown at him as he's played for teams the past 6 or so months, and it is our good old friend Deontay Johnson, and you know, much like Darren Waller, probably not wanting to play in New York because of cold weather, Deontay Johnson had some similar reservations.
So pretty much his quote was, "I wasn't getting into no run plays." So he talks about like him refusing to go into the game because it was ice cold. And his quote was, "I wasn't getting into no run plays, no pass plays or nothing. It was cold." End of the third, going into the fourth, they were like, "Tay, we need you." I was like, "Nah, I don't think it's a good idea for me. Like, my legs are already ice cold. I didn't want to go out there and put bad stuff on film." It's crazy. Like, how is he on a team? Is he that good though? Like, is he really that good for him to be on a team?
Man,
like,
he ain't that good though.
Like, he ain't Antonio
He ain't
Brown good. Like, Antonio Brown, like, I felt like he could do no wrong with teams. Like, you're like, hey, you know what, Antonio Brown, like, he had John Gruden on the phone, just like, hey man, like, whatever you need. Like, you could tell, like, and it was funny too, because if you hear John Gruden, I know it's off topic a little bit, but like John, when he talks about that whole Antonio Brown situation, like on his, like, you know, on his channel, on his podcast, he's like, man, I was trying to make it work, man. Like, I was trying, but he kept it so real, and I had to believe him too. I was like, damn, like, he was really trying to make it work. So, because he had, like, he felt like offensively with Antonio Brown, like, he could call all types of crazy plays. Because think about all the productive players that were on the Raiders offense, receivers, you know, he turned Darren Waller into a 1,000-yard receiver. You got Hunter Renfrow in a 1,000-yard receiver. Imagine Antonio Brown in the offense. He would be getting his numbers, probably some crazy numbers. I think Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, like, he had 2,000 yards receivers with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you imagine, like, what that would look like, but that's neither here or there. But we're talking about Deontay Johnson and flag on a play. I don't even understand, like, why he's on a team. Like, if he's not going to go into the game, like, he's talking like crazy. It's like he's a diva receiver, but he's not the diva doesn't match the talent.
Exactly.
Like, you remember Steven Jackson?
For the NBA Steven Jackson?
Yeah. I just feel like Steven Jackson was like a player that, like, I always felt like his ego was bigger than his talent. Like, he felt like he was like the number one star, but he was like more of a role player. Like, he was a good player, but like he wasn't as good. And I just felt like that's Deontay Johnson. I feel like he thinks I feel like he thinks he's like one of the best receivers in the NFL, but I don't know.
That's what you call it. That's like low-key like Matt Barnes too. It's ironic because they were like they got the pocket. Yeah.
You think Matt Barnes feels his ego? You think he thought he was better than he was?
Oh, Matt Barnes thought he was better than he was.
Definitely. Now I feel like Matt Barnes knew he was a role player, because he never. What did he do?
I think he understood that he was a role player.
He scored some points some years.
I think Matt Barnes understood that he was a role player, but I still think he thought he was better than what he was. That's just, like, you can be a role player and think you're better than what you are.
Yeah, man. I heard what you're saying, but I guess you gotta have that mentality too. It's like a double-edged sword a little bit. Like, you gotta have that mentality. You gotta believe in yourself.
It's a thin line between confidence and arrogance.
Yeah.
But Matt Barnes stomped all on that line. So
yeah. Now, I'm a flag on a play on Deontay Johnson, but I forget, this is an honorable mention, but did you hear Greg Roman? I seen something on social media where Greg Roman was like, he's gonna run more with Justin Herbert this season. And I threw that as an honorable mention just because, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what is that going to do? Like, oh, we're gonna run more. Like, he's not like Michael Vick. Like, he's not Lamar Jackson. Like, why are you trying to? He's not Kaepernick. Like, why are you trying to run? Like, what makes Herbert kind of a good player is the fact that he's you know, potentially a really good passer, then you combine with his size and athleticism. Like it's the combination. It's not like Lamar is like, damn, like you could just have him run all day. Kaepernick could do the same thing. Like Kaepernick has, I think it's still a record in the playoffs where he did it against the Packers. He had like 170 yards, like with 2 touchdowns that game, rushing. Like he's gonna run more with like that's not gonna do nothing. Like,
think about it is that you always want it to be a threat because Justin Herbert he's super athletic, so you always want there to be a threat. But you also got to be careful. Like you don't want your quarterback getting hurt, so you putting him in harm's way more. Like that's a you playing with fire.
Yeah. So that's an honorable mention. But moving along to the next flag on a play. Let me pull this up here. Oh, so over the weekend, I guess Geno Smith was at a football game, and was it in Florida? I think it was in Florida. I believe Florida. And there was like a back and forth that he was having with some fan on the sideline. And like Geno was basically like, hey man, that's why they pay me the big bucks. Yeah. Like that's why they pay me the big bucks, going back and forth. And then people were kind of reacting in a way where they're like, oh, Geno Smith. The headline was like Geno Smith was getting ready to fight. I'm like, come on, bro. He was not. Geno Smith ain't gonna fight no fan. He probably was talking trash, but Geno Smith was not gonna run. And I felt like people overreacted a little bit. I agree with that because I know you put it together. You were saying that like it was a flag based off the overreaction. But if you want to speak about that real quick,
if you saw like how, and I could see like Seattle fans having like some kind of animosity toward Geno, so they're like chirping at Geno, talking stuff, especially because they offered him a contract, he turned it down, and then like forced his way out of there. So like I gotta see them having some animosity toward him, but they were Raider fans. Like, what is Geno Smith? What have you done? Let me see you. Like wait till you get on the field to talk that stuff. And like what are you talking about, bro? Like he's been one of the better quarterbacks over the past 3 seasons. He had a little bit of a down year last year, but those prior 2 seasons for sure, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think if you look at the numbers, he's the second most accurate quarterback in the league over that time. Second most accurate on deep passes. Like he's kind of shown his worth. So for people to come out here and it's like what kind of sheltered environment did you grow up in where you're not used to like people like jawing, talking stuff back and forth? Like we do that like on a regular. Like that's just like, hey, if you ever had friends over and y'all playing like video games, playing Madden or playing 2K, like you talking like mad stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff you talk about. And that's how you kind of go at each other. And that's like, in a competitive environment like that, there should be space for that kind of jawing. As long as it doesn't cross the line and get too personal. And I didn't see at any point where that crossed the line and got too personal. And if the score didn't get physical or violent, so it's like people were really at his neck. Like people like it got so bad that even Max Crosby had to be like, yo man, ignore these people. Like just do you. Like when Max Crosby has to step in and be like, yo man, like don't even worry about these folks. Like that's how you know it's getting out of hand.
But you gotta think too, like Geno, like whatever makes him keep going, to whatever mentality, whatever mindset that helped him like persevere and push forward after being a second round pick with the Jets, that not working out, then he had to go bounce. Like Pete Carroll even talks about like how he has insane belief in himself. You know what I mean? And the type of mentality he has. So he believes in himself. I mean, like the fact that he had that crazy quote, everybody likes to talk about, like, people wrote him off, but he didn't write back. Like, that's how he feels. It's how he feels. Like his attitudes, man, is like, F y'all. Like, you know what I mean? So look, I took it, at the end of the day, all that matters is what you do on the football field. But I wasn't really like, oh my God, I can't believe that he did that. But some people reacted in a way where it was just kind of like, they're like, oh, well, I can't believe your starting quarterback is representing himself that way. And da-da-da-da. Like, nah, I don't know. Because at the end of the day, like, if this guy's winning football games, what are they going to say now? I'm like, oh, man, like, this dude is a badass. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to say all types of stuff that,
Or when Tom Brady were going off with people, it was that's Psycho Tom.
Yeah,
He's so
Psycho Tom, yeah.
look how competitive that guy is. The competitive fire is just burning. Like it's like people pick and choose, man. People really pick and choose.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see at the end of the day. Like if he doesn't do anything with the Raiders, then I guess like you can criticize from there. But we'll see what he does on a football field. Man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Y'all need to settle down in the chat, man. Y'all over here just going crazy. But I think someone wants to talk about Tommy Mellott. Tommy Mellott, former QB, FCS QB, who the Raiders are going to convert into a wide receiver. We'll see, man. I want to see what that looks like. I mean, he had a crazy, not combine, but I think it was a pro day workout where he had like 38. Was 40? Yeah, was it 40 inch vertical? Yeah. Was it a 40 inch vertical?
Might have been. It was crazy.
40 inch vertical, ran like a 4.3, 4.4. So. So I want to see what he's another player that's like, what is it going to look like? But I'm for him, I'm not really expecting him to do anything year one because he's making a position change. You kind of have to give it some time before he kind of get used to the position. They've given the position of a wide receiver, but I think they're gonna see how he's gonna be a weapon. They're gonna try to get the ball in his hands, but I don't know. I think there might be a learning curve a little bit.
I don't know if he makes the roster. To be honest with you, I think he's probably practice squad guy. To be honest with you, if he makes the roster, I won't be surprised if he makes the roster, but that's not something I'm assuming he's gonna be a practice squad guy.
Right, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification. We're going live on both our channels. Yeah, my guy Marty Mart, man. Let him know, man. Let him know. It's really that simple. It's really that simple, man. But yeah, man, that wraps up flag on the play this week. Yeah, man. So I think we kind of talked about our honorable mentions. We talked about the Greg Roman. I thought that was honorable. Like, that's flag. Like, come on, bro. Like, you acting like running Justin Herbert more is going to be like a game-changing thing that happened on offense. Like, I think that's a bad thing, to be honest with you. You're putting your star quarterback in harm's way where his skill set is not really the fact that he can run the football. Exactly. Like, it didn't make any sense. But you know what? Hey, that's why they're the Chargers at the end of the day. That's what they do. They make mistakes like that on offense. But yeah, let's move it along, man. Let's go to notable quotables. It's where we play a quote that we find interesting, and we have a conversation about it. Like, so let me go ahead and set that up. Severe, if you want to hit up the chat real quick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy AR in the building, all the way on the other side of the world. It's Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday over there, right? Well, it's Wednesday here too, but it's I think it's 3 in the afternoon over there right now. Chilling. He said it's winter out there. Oh, you guys haven't already taken the time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go to both channels. Hit up our socials as well. This at the Severe Raider. For myself at PharoahNFL, for my guy Pharaoh. Give us a follow over on socials, man. Make sure y'all stay tapped in with all of our content.
Hey, I don't know if you've seen this. Did you see this crazy? I seen this online, and it talks about some of these owners who bought like these WNBA teams.
Yeah,
Mark Davis bought the Aces for $2 million in 2021, and now they're valued at $290 million.
Yeah,
Mark. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people kind of get on Mark, but like, damn, businessman, he is.
Mark is smart, bro. Like whatever you want to say about Mark Davis, he dude is smart, man.
He's smart businessman. I mean, he's making.
He turned the Raiders from $700 million to $7 billion. Like, bro, in 10 years.
Yep.
So it's like this dude knows what he's doing, man. He knows what he's doing.
Well, let's get into the first notable quotable. If you want to get an intro for that one.
Yes, sir. So Albert Beer, he's one of the better known writers, especially when it comes to the NFL circles. He was talking about some teams that are going to surprise people, and the Raiders were one of the teams he brought up, as well as our Week 1 opponent.
Albert.
I think the two teams that play in Week 1 that are fascinating are the Patriots and the Raiders. I think both those teams are going to be better. Now, how much better we'll see. But I just kind of look at the Raiders now, and it's all right. Like, you get the Colton Miller things settled. You have a left tackle. Brock Bowers, one of the most exciting skill players in football, even going into just his second year. Ashton Genty's coming in, so you've got like a kind of a focal point for your offense. Geno Smith, I think, is a really good quarterback, underrated, I think, for reasons that relate to people holding on to things from where he was at in New York all those years ago. So I think Pete Carroll's going to field a competitive defense with some of the guys that he brought in and some of the kind of mid-level free agents, guys like Eric Stokes, who he's giving a second chance to. So I think the Raiders are interesting.
Albert.
I think,
man, he's kind of shouting out the Raiders there. See, last year the media was kind of like, yeah, the Raiders is not going to really do nothing this year. That a lot of question marks, and then we kind of were like, oh, these guys are hating. But in reality, like, the season unfolded, and the rest is history. Like, the Raiders weren't that good. This year, it's a whole different vibe and energy from everywhere, from the team, from the media. Like Albert Beer, who I feel like I'm not gonna say that he's a Patriots fan, but I think he's kind of tapped in with the Patriots a lot. Like, he's like a big source for them, especially when McDaniels and the Patriot way was in Las Vegas. Like, it felt like he had a lot of inside scoops. But with this team, he's a big believer in Pete Carroll and the team and that they're putting together. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like, man. But what was your take on what Albert Beer had to say?
Yeah, man. I think the national media is going to start giving the Raiders a lot more love, just off the strength of you upgrade at quarterback, and you upgrade especially in the short term at head coach. Like, that's two of the more pivotal parts of your team. Those are the two leaders of the franchise on the field. So and on the sideline. So when you upgrade at those positions, like, you expect to get better results. And then think about the talent they've been able to add in terms of whether it's Genty, whether it's the guys they brought in and other guys they brought in the draft, like Darren Porter, DeAndre Thornton, hopefully Jack Besh, getting Michael Mayer back, hopefully in the right frame of mind. Year 2 of impressive rookies like JPJ and DJ Glaze and Brock Bowers. Like, you see all this stuff starting to coalesce, and you just kind of keep your fingers crossed for good health, and you think, hey, this team is going to be a lot more competitive than what it was last year. Is that necessarily going to end up showing itself or coming to fruition in terms of wins and losses? That remains to be seen, just because there's a handful of plays in a game that can change the outcome of a game. So a team could be much improved and that necessarily not be reflected in the win-loss column, but I think this team is going to be much better than they were last year and put a much better product on the field.
I mean, they got a better quarterback. Better quarterback. And a lot of people who were, didn't like Antonio Pierce, Pete Carroll, Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah.
He's going to be coaching the Raiders next year. So they upgraded on the most important spots. Their most important spots on a football team is the head coach and the quarterback. Yeah. And then now you add some pieces on offense, and it felt like they went offensive heavy this draft, but in reality, I think they felt like they needed the help on offense, especially going against some of the teams in the division. Like, We're going against Denver. They're loaded on defense.
Yeah.
Like every team in the divisions, I think every team in the division you could argue is a defensive team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Chargers, the Chiefs. The Chiefs play completely different than what they played when they had like Tyreek Hill and when Mahomes is chucking the ball every other play or whatever. Now it's like, man, it's the gym. It's like it's pretty much, a defensive game when it comes to the Chiefs.
Spags.
And Spags, Spags, and then you obviously got Denver. But we'll see how it goes. But hey, I look, I'm gonna keep saying this every show just so y'all can get used to it. Cautiously optimistic. Cautiously optimistic. It's
2026, baby. 2026, baby.
Yeah, man. And this is basically what he's saying. That's what Savir's saying. That's what Savir's saying now. But let's move along to the next notable quotable. You want to get an intro to this?
Yes, sir. So, we all know Howie Long, NFL legend, Raider legend, Hall of Famer. His son, Chris Long, I think he was number 2 overall pick by the Rams. Had a long NFL career, played for the Rams, the Eagles, and I believe the Patriots as well, and ended up being a Super Bowl champion. He had a nice conversation with Max Crosby. And he had some very interesting things to say. Obviously he's a fan of Max and what he brings to the game. But they just had a really, really cool interaction.
It's like a bond, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So basically, I get on there and I'm thinking to myself, like, I feel like I'm teammates with these guys because we're part of a brotherhood.
Yeah.
They won a Super Bowl here. I want it. It's a cool thing, man. And I hope you get it, Max, because you fucking deserve it, dude. Like, you played your ass off, and I was in a situation where we weren't winning a lot.
Yeah.
And I watch you play when the chips are up and the chips are down.
Yeah.
To me, that's the measure of how much I respect somebody.
Yeah.
How you play when shit is hitting the fan.
Real shit.
And I know you've had to go into that bag before, probably find motivation.
Fuck yeah. 100%.
So I hope you get that, man. I hope you do. It'd also be cool because the Raiders, man, Raider Nation is crazy, dude.
Bro,
They're
unbelievable. One of one.
It's a cult.
Yeah, for sure.
I know from growing up and watching.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've seen it since day one,
dude. Fuck, my dad.
Were you a huge Raiders fan growing up?
Dude, we used to go, like, I was a kid when they were in Oakland, bro, and like,
what question is that?
We would go to the stadium. And you walk past the black hole, and it's just like, whoa, dude. Like, first off, it smells loud.
Yeah,
straight loud.
I didn't know what it was when I was a kid, but
windows up.
Why do they have skunks in here?
Yeah, dude, there's a bunch of skunks in there, but I just remember the passion, bro, and I remember, like, still to this day when my dad meets a Raiders fan, like, it's like a bond, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So basically, I get on.
All right, man. So look, you can see Chris. you can see Chris Long appreciating Max Crosby, his talent, his journey, especially as a Raider player, especially because he can relate to him a little bit because the Raiders haven't been winning, and he was a player that, to be honest with you, he didn't really like. He went through a stretch where he didn't win, so he knows how that feels. Thing with the Rams, he didn't win a lot with the Rams. I think he ended up winning a chip with the Eagles. Might have won the Eagles, the first one, the first Super Bowl they had with Nick Foles. I think he was on that team.
Yeah, I think it was it.
That being said, him asking him if he was a Raider fan? Come on, bro. His dad is Howie Long.
Bro, that's like a dumbass question. That is insanity, bro. That's insanity. But yeah, man, like, and that's one thing you'll see about Max is that, like, the guys that have played the game, guys that played it for a long, from all walks of life, where it's like guys like Chris Long, guys like Khalil, guys like Aaron Donald, like all those guys like Von Miller, all those guys respect Max and their hoping for the best for Max, just because they see the kind of what he puts into the game, and and he's one of those people that like he gives to the game, he doesn't take away from it. He was only doing the sack summit for I think a few years before Von Miller was like, yeah, man, I want you to take this thing over. Like this is basically like this is gonna be like when I leave it alone, bro, I'm leaving it in your hands. And that's just kind of just respect he demands from his peers, man. So it's just a testament of who he is just as a person and as a player. And we're fortunate to have a guy like that, on our team. Hopefully, whether it be Pete Carroll or whether it be whoever the next head coach is, we're able to deliver on some more success for him, because the guy, that puts what he puts into it deserves to be playing meaningful football games, man. So, that's we got to do right by him.
I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because I think the only way you can win is you either gotta have like I
don't know if you win one.
You gotta have a top 5 you gotta have a top 5 QB, or you gotta be built like the Eagles.
Yeah.
You gotta be a team where the roster is just undeniable. So that's why maybe you can hope that Spy Tech
twice.
Man. Yeah. Maybe Spy takes from the same cloth. You never know. We'll see.
Okay.
See, man, that's a big shoes to fill though. Like if you compare him to Howie Roseman, but that's the only way, bro. Like you can't.
I ain't comparing him to Howie Roseman. I'm just saying Howie Roseman's been able to do it twice, like with no top 5 quarterbacks. He's been able to win 2 Super Bowls with like less than stellar play. Well, not say less than, because Nick Foles did his thing. Okay, so I don't want to take nothing away from Nick Foles, but he's not a guy that people consider a top tier quarterback. So he's
but the team itself was good though. Like it was like so what so and you got a head coach in Pete Carroll who believes in that. He believes the way to win is to build a team, and like the quarterback doesn't necessarily have to be like top 5.
Yeah, facts.
Because he knows it's just too hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if he's top 5, cool. Damn, you have a shot now. But in reality, like there's still like the way to win is to build the team, and everything will come, I guess. But we'll see, man. We'll see if Max can win it. But if Max wins a Super Bowl with the Raiders, his legacy is like cemented. Like
cemented, bro. Bro.
You can start talking about is he like, where do you rank him as one of the greatest Raiders? There's gonna be conversations like that. You know what I mean? Because once you win a ring, it's just like now you're talking all time.
Yeah. Very few Raiders will be in front of him. Like Otto, Woodson, Tim Brown, probably the only people that will probably be in front of him.
Most of the Hall of Famers for the Raiders are on defense, huh? Right? Most Hall of Famers?
Most of them, yeah.
Corner.
Yeah.
Got it. Corner.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think. Marcus Allen.
They got offensive line. They got running back. They got a quarterback. They got a punter. Yeah.
And they got all different positions. They got a lot of different positions, but it's a lot of defense.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of offensive line too, though.
Yeah. What up? You talking about Upshaw and Art Shell and shit like that?
Yeah. Otto, obviously.
Jim Otto. Yeah. But yeah, man, hey, we appreciate everybody coming through, man. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Let's get to what's real, what's not. This is where we say a statement. Y'all react to it and say if it's real or it's not. I think we just got one what's real, what's not statement for y'all today, man. It's gonna keep it simple.
Yeah. Keep it smooth. Obviously, everybody knows. Oh yeah. I mean, Pharaoh already gave the introduction. When we say a statement, you let us know if it's real, if it's not. Let us know in the chat or in the comment section. And as he said, we only have one today. But as you guys know, the NFL, they do their annual NFL 100 list, where this is a list that's voted on by the players, ranking the players, and they go through who are the top 100 players in the NFL from that previous season. I think they already released players 100 through 97. And I'm going to say that on this list, and this doesn't include players that are no longer on the team. So, like, even if they started last year with the Raiders, i.e. Devontae Adams, if they did not finish last year with the Raiders, we can't count them as Raiders players. So the Raiders will have more than 3 players in the NFL's top 100. They will have more than 3 players in the NFL's top 100.
The next top 100 or this top 100?
The one that's going on right now.
Okay, Brock is probably gonna be in there.
Yeah.
Max is gonna be in there.
Yeah.
After that,
and you got the 2 other candidates that are there.
Punter. They're not gonna put a punter up in there. Yeah.
I doubt it, but you still have a possibility of Jacoby could be up in there. You also have a possibility of some other guy's name. Damn, what was I about to say? You got Jacoby that can be there. You got Colton Miller that can sneak in there. You got Zamir White. No,
yeah, but that's not real, bro. That's not real.
You got Zamir White. So yeah,
that's not real. That's not real. That's not real.
It's not real.
It's not
more
real.
Than more than 3.
Yeah, because Jacoby's a good player, but he's not a great player. He's not a good player. Can he? Because he just had his first 1,000-yard season this year. So
he just had his first one this year.
How many players is he gonna leap who had 1,000 yards and probably had better numbers than he did? For being real.
True.
That's the only thing. Like that's my pushback is like, I like.
I guess, but think about it like this. Well, I would say like this. Who was player? You know who player 100 was?
You said player 100.
Player 100
nah. Who's player 100? 100.
It was Ladd McConkey.
What was his numbers? Let's look at his numbers.
I think he put up. He was 3rd. He was 4th amongst all NFL rookies in receiving. I want to say there was Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, and him. Oh, that's another one. Oh, we said Brock, right? So we got Brock, Max, for sure.
Yeah.
That's 2.
Yeah,
Brock and
2.
Max for sure. That's 2.
That's it, bro.
I think Colton Miller might sneak in.
And we're 4-13 too.
That's another thing that's holding us back here.
If we're a winning football team, I think players are probably like, oh yeah, man, we gotta put this person in here.
Yeah, that's holding us back too.
Ladd McConkey. Let's see. That's a funny name.
Oh yeah, I forgot Gino too. Gino. I think Gino might sneak in there.
Oh, but that's a trick question now. You just turned it into a trick question. Because he played for the Seahawks last year, not for the Raiders.
But he's on the Raiders now, so they have to be on the Raiders now. They can't be like it couldn't be somebody that was with the Raiders last year and now they're gone. That's why I said you can't count Devontae.
So okay. What did Jacoby get like 1,007 yards or something like that? Like what was his final numbers?
I don't remember. But he also missed like a big game.
Ladd McConkey got 82 receptions, 1,149 yards, and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He was player 100. So let's look at Jacoby. His first 1,000-yard season that happened last year. Hey, I forget he spelled his name different.
Jakobi.
Yeah. It's like, let's see. 80. He had more receptions, 87 receptions, but look at this, 1,027 yards.
He missed. He played less games, right?
And 4 touchdowns. Let's take a look.
I
Well,
think he played last game.
McConkey started 14 games and Jacoby started 15.
Started, but where's games played? There's a difference between games played and games started.
Games played, he played 16. Lad McConkey played 16 and Jacoby played 15.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, and the thing about Jacoby is that,
and that was player 100. That's player 100.
100. But I think a lot of people around the league respect Jacoby though. That's the only thing. I think a lot of people around the league respect Jacoby. Like you always hear guys talking about how good he is. Like Devontae probably put Jacoby up there. Devontae got mad respect for Jacoby. Like Puka Nacua talked about how he was the most underrated player in the league. So I think he's like a dark horse. I think Geno will be up there. I think Brock will be up there. I think Max. Well, I know Brock will be up there. Max will be up there. I think those three guys will be up there.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you. I just think that it's gonna be Max and Brock because those are like without a doubt like undeniable.
They're locks. Those are locks.
There's no way that you could have a top 100 list without Max and Brock. The way he did last season, like he was like
those guys are locks.
It's like it's easy. Everybody else is kind of like
Max is top 15. Brock could be top 30.
Yeah,
Brock could be top 30, I think.
And like Geno is kind of like top 15 QB, but his season last season was like kind of like he had like a down year compared to like his first couple years with Seattle. Like it wasn't a strong year. So he might be left out this year, but it's possible he could play.
Yeah. That's
you got a goofy name, man. Appreciate this, my guy Chewy's, man. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my guy, man. Appreciate it, my guy. He says, good thing McConkey isn't a Bronco. McDonkey. Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. We would have for sure had that lined up for him. Like, that would be lined up. Every Raider fan would be calling him McDonkey for sure.
Oh, you already know.
Yeah. It's a funny name.
Raider fans are good for those nicknames.
This is true. Yeah. This is true. And I think this is Severe. It's also what Severe is saying too. It's
that's why I think a lot of people respect Jacoby.
Okay. Was Jacoby ever listed in top 100? Let's see. Was he ever listed? I don't know how I can look that up.
I don't think you can, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't though. I'm pretty sure he wasn't.
Jacoby. So it's not about because there must be a certain level of stats then.
There's some level of stats. There's also a certain level of like name recognition as well. Names that come to mind. I think Jacoby. I think he comes to mind more now because he was with New England, but it was all bad New England teams. And his team was bad too, but the Raiders recently have a little bit higher profile.
Hey man, Google AI is crazy. Yes, Jacoby Myers has been listed within top 100 in various NFL rankings. For example, he was ranked 77th overall in Sports Illustrated Fantasy Football top 200 rankings. Okay. He was ranked 24th among wide receivers in Pro Football Focus's grades. Okay, but yeah, he wasn't ranked top 100.
No, it's not. I don't think he's ever been ranked top 100.
You know what? Like Jacoby there might be a chance. There might be a chance.
There's a chance. That's what I'm saying. Like there's a chance. Like there's a few guys that have a chance. Like Miller for what he did toward the end of last year. There's a chance. I think there's a chance for Jacoby. There's a chance for Geno. Somebody else in the chat. I saw somebody brought up Jeremy Chin. I think there's like outside chance. Like he had a pretty good year last year. Outside chance. Jermaine Pratt put up crazy tackle numbers. There's an outside chance. I doubt it, but there's an outside. There's a few people that are like, okay, you can kind of see it. But usually these lists are like bigger name people. But when I saw Ladd McConkey on there, I'm like, okay, well, all bets are off. All bets are off.
Right. But see, my thing is though, at the end of the day, like, it's the entire NFL.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the entire NFL.
Yeah.
I don't like defensive line, offensive line, QB, obviously wide receiver, running back, you know what I mean? You name it, corner, DB, all that. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be max, just because the Raiders didn't win that much. So I think the Raiders max are gonna get 2. They're gonna get 2.
I can see that.
If Brock doesn't get a top 100, you're right.
Oh nah, you get into if McConkey is up there, Brock is getting up there.
Max is gonna be up there. Max is gonna be. He's probably gonna be somewhere within that list, just because. And I think it all depends on like how well the team does. Because, now you want to put Max top 5, top 10.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm just saying, like, I'm just throwing it out there. Like, now you want to put this player top 10 just because of what the Raiders are making the playoffs. Oh, okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole different. That's what I'm saying. Like, certain players, and I'll give this to like I'll give this to certain players. Like, when you win, it does help your recognition. Like, accolades will come when you win.
Oh, definitely.
And they could be still the same player. Like, they could still be the same productive player. They can get the sacks, they can get the touchdowns, whatever the case may be. But if you ain't winning, you're not going to get recognized. You're probably not going to get a Pro Bowl. You're probably not going to get, like, Colt Miller. I don't think he's ever been in a Pro Bowl.
Possibly not. But the Pro Bowl is like that's a popularity contest.
I'm just saying though, like, he was never even, like, he wasn't even an alternate. Was he even like, I don't even think he was an alternate.
I don't think so. But usually the guys that are offensive line, they usually show up for the Pro Bowl. Those guys show up.
Shout out to 4535, man. Appreciate you coming through. She said Trevor Lawrence has not showed out, man. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence kind of been a disappointment so far, man. But what number one picks have really lived up to the hype?
Recently, Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett. I mean, QB.
Just the most recent ones. Man.
Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, like,
kinda, but not really. But for a short period of time,
he did, bro. Like, he was good, bro. Like, he was
good, but
he was good. Like, he was good, man. He was good. I think with him,
I don't say he lived up to the hype though. People are like, he was like the next like generation. He was generational,
bro. He didn't have an offensive line. Like, he had a worse offensive line than what Joe. Yeah, but he had a worse offensive line than what Joe. Bro, come on, bro. Like, it was bad. He was getting beat up every play.
Yeah, Andrew Luck was nice. Look, now I'm not trying to say Andrew Luck was like,
and he didn't have the weapons that Joe Burrow had too. You got to keep.
I'm not trying to say Andrew. I'm not trying to say Joe Burrow was a bum. I mean, Andrew Luck was a bum. He was good.
I think you are though,
but
just a little bit.
Nah, I'm saying he's good. He was a good player, but
come on, man.
But I don't think he's better than Joe Burrow. First, like I said, that he's not. I don't think he's better than Joe Burrow. And now he didn't live up to the hype. He didn't live up to the hype, bro.
He just injuries took a toll on him.
He was good.
He had to retire, but Luck was definitely like, I didn't question Luck. I wasn't like, if Andrew Luck played for the Raiders,
we'd be in there.
Bro, I would be thinking that we would go to the Super Bowl every year. Like, we would have a chance. Like, if because now you have a guy that could, play with the best of them. Andrew Luck was Cam Newton. He's
saying those are the two guys.
Andrew Luck, Cam Newton.
Guys those two number one overall picks. Cam Newton's better than Joe Burrow. I mean, than Andrew Luck.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Andrew Luck.
I think Andrew Luck probably was better in the pocket. He was better.
For sure, he's better in the pocket. But that's what kind of question is that? Andrew Luck is better than Lamar Jackson in the pocket, but he's not a better player than him.
Man, it's hard, bro, because it's incomplete. Andrew Luck is a big ass incomplete because I can see it though. I can see Andrew Luck's like, but I can't tell you that he's better because
look, I take the guy that went 15-1 and took his team to the Super Bowl and won the MVP. I'll take that guy.
Right, but you're comparing a guy that's his career was incomplete to a guy whose his career is pretty much done.
Cam Newton only played like 9 or 10 years.
How many years did Andrew Luck play? Less than that.
He left of his own.
He had a lot left.
He left on his own. So I mean, that's.
But he left based off injuries. But the thing is, though, for years, the Colts, man, I ain't gonna lie, like the Colts did him. That's why I'm kind of low key looking at the Bengals because they're kind of ruining. They could possibly ruining like Joe Burrow's prime years, where they're like obviously they're actually doing a better job than what the Colts did. Because what weapons did T.Y. Hilton compared to what Joe Burrow has with the Bengals? 2 number 1 receivers.
I want to say Andrew Luck had what's his face?
He had T.Y. and that's it. T.Y. and that's it, bro.
He had Reggie Wayne.
For how long? Nah, I don't know. I don't know how long did he have Reggie Wayne. We can't see. It's always context. If he played 1 year, that does not count.
I want to say he had Reggie Wayne.
Let's see. Andrew Luck. When was he? Andrew Luck was drafted. Let me see. Andrew Luck draft year. All right, it's 2012. Let's see. Reggie Wayne. Let me see. Let me look at his numbers. Oh, okay. He played for a couple of seasons. Or he played for like 2012, 2013, 2014. Let me see. Yeah, he had him his rookie year. Yeah. Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne.
But it's still not. No, Ty came on late though. I think because it was Reggie Wayne, but it wasn't. You know what Joe Burrow has? Come on, man. Like we can't compare it to that, bro.
Oh, he's not what Joe Burrow has.
It's like 2 number 1 receivers, man. And they're young in their prime. It's like you got a Reggie Wayne who obviously is a Hall of Fame receiver, but he was on his way out. And then T.Y. was on the up and up, like he was kind of getting his recognition.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could look at T.Y. when he kind of popped onto the scene, because I don't know if he did that from day one.
Probably not from day one, but
the biggest issue with the Colts though, they couldn't protect Andrew Luck. Like that was like their biggest issue. Like they couldn't put out a good offensive line, and it eventually got him like to end his career early. And what's been Joe Burrow's issue with the Bengals? He keeps getting hurt.
Yeah.
We could see Joe Burrow's like, damn, like if he could stay healthy, like he looks like a quarterback that would win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I can say that, yeah.
But they've kind of like they're building their team a lot differently. Like usually teams build their offensive line, protect the QB, but they're not really doing that. Let me see. Ty.
They're going all in.
Oh, Ty. Okay. He was drafted the same year as Andrew Luck. Okay. Damn, he had like 90 targets his first year. God damn.
Oh, so he got off immediately then.
Yeah, he got targets. Yeah.
Okay.
So he had like 50 receptions, 861 his rookie year. Okay.
And then that's also they had too though, right? Was that the same year? Or was it year 1 or year 2?
What?
And they had because he had Bruce Arians as his head coach. He had Bruce Arians. I don't want to say that's the Bruce Arians. Was that year 1 or year 2?
I think that it might have been the team where Joe Pagano, where it was like, remember he had like that
Chuck
diagnosis. Chuck Pagano.
Yeah,
He
I
had
can't
a
remember.
diagnosis.
That was when Luck was there. I can't remember.
I might have been when Luck
I
was
don't think
there.
it was his rookie year, though. It wasn't. It was for sure when Luck was there, because Peyton wasn't there.
But he was
gone.
like he was an interim coach. He was an interim coach, and then like he didn't become a head coach because Chuck Pagano ended up coming back. But then he ended up going to Arizona, becoming a good head coach there, or a better head coach.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, bro. Hey, man, I agree. He was generational, for sure.
He was generational talent for sure, but I don't think he lived up to the hype though.
Nah, man, because you're selling this. I want to, because the way you're saying it is like he was a bust. Like he wasn't.
No,
he
not
wasn't
a bust.
that good.
Like no,
he wasn't that good. Like when I'm okay. Trevor Lawrence is what started this conversation. Trevor Lawrence is a whole different, like you.
Oh yeah, nah. Andrew Luck is leaps and bounds.
You're questioning like right now. People are questioning Trevor Lawrence. Is he a franchise QB? Like, is he a bust? Andrew Luck was not that type of player.
No, he's not. Andrew Luck was worthy. He was worthy of the number 1 overall pick. If like they're saying like, should he have been taken number 1 overall? Yes. Was he generational? Not in my opinion.
He did live up to the hype. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie, he did, bro.
I don't think he lived up to the hype.
When I seen Andrew Luck play, I was like, damn. I remember him from Stanford. I was like, when I first seen him in Stanford, I was like, bro, like this dude looks like an NFL quarterback. And obviously Jim Harbaugh was a head coach back then, and rest is history. He ended up going number 1 pick, but I think he had like highs, and then like there were some tough seasons, and it was just like it was like the Colts had issues building a team around him.
Yeah.
But then they ended up,
in my opinion, didn't live up to the hype, man. In my opinion, when you can live up to the hype, you're a perennial MVP contention type guy. Like every year, you're in the conversation. Like that's
he wasn't in the conversation. Like
not
Andrew
every
Luck
year,
wasn't
no.
in the conversation.
No, not every year. Not every year. Yeah, I think he made the Pro Bowl early. His first or second year, he made the Pro Bowl. And then he went on a drought. I think he made it like maybe 2 years in a row. Then he went on a drought. And I don't know if he made another one.
Bro, he played. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons.
Played more than 5 seasons.
2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. Oh, okay. 2017, he didn't play the entire season because he injured his shoulder. And then then he played 2018. They finished 10-6. Let me see. He had 39 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Like, damn. Like, come on, bro. Like, you like, I don't know, man. Like, that was like one of the only number 1 picks where I'd be like, damn. I'd say the only, but like,
yeah,
a lot of number 1 picks, it's hard to live up to the hype. Like, you're automatically, everybody's thinking you're the franchise guy. You got to be the best player in the league. You got to be one of the best players at that position. It's a tough, and I thought he was one of the best QBs in the NFL. Like, he was top 10 easy. Like, during his time.
I think he was top 10 easy. I think he was top 10. Yeah, I think he was top 10. He was top 10 for sure.
His last year in the league, he had 39 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. That offseason, he says, I got to hang him up because my body is is done. And that's on the Colts, man. Like, he was getting beat up every play. Like, this is that, and that was like the criticism for the Colts back then was like, damn, they didn't build an offensive line, and then they built the offensive line after he left.
They were building it because I think they had drafted Quentin Nelson already.
Yeah, but at that point,
they were building like they were trying to build one. They were trying to build one around him, and he just he skated out.
Man,
he dipped out.
Yeah, man. He was that guy, man. He had facts, 100%, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. It's been a great show. We'll be back here later this week, man, around the shield. We'll try to have a guest for y'all this week. Obviously, we'll be back next week with the 50-50 show, man. Severe, man. Let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
Let's know what it is, man. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, IG, Snapchat, TikTok, X, all that good stuff. 50-50 show, man. Around the Shield, the Raider War Room. Check me out, man. Make sure you sub to the channel, hit the notification bells. Also, head over to my guy, PharoahNFL channel. Do the same thing, man. And like what you saw today, share it with some people, share it with some fellow Raider fans, man.
Yes. Salute to my guy, man. Salute to my guy, Severe Raider, man. Appreciate you. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to go over and subscribe to my guy. And then also, we'll see, man. We'll see what we have as guests this week. And we'll make that happen. Just tune in. Make sure to clock in. At this point, clock out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. We'll be back here this Thursday. So, y'all see, we're like the late night show these days. So if you want to know when we're gonna drop an episode, a live show, drop new content, just hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when we do drop, man. Because I know people miss the live show sometimes because we go at different times. But we appreciate everybody supporting, even if you're watching the replay, live shows. But we want to make sure you guys catch the live shows. So in order for you guys to do that, you got to hit the notification bell. So we appreciate y'all. I'm looking at some of the comments here. Rick Rock says, and it sucks because the talent and the potential that these young QBs had to take their teams to Super Bowl, but the crappy teams they're on don't seem to have enough money. And you know what? Like, you know what's so sad as a Raider fan? We even had. That's all right. That's a whole different. I know you got that right there. That's that was one of the moments right there.
First of all,
for sure. Yeah, I was gonna get into like the Raiders and how they develop the quarterback position, but
yeah, man,
the best teams know how to develop that position. They know how to develop players overall, and those are the teams that win. But yeah, man, we appreciate everybody coming through, man. Severe, any last thoughts before we head out?
Nah, man. Just be on the lookout, man. Just be on the lookout. Training camp coming up around the corner. So make sure y'all stay locked into both channels.
Yeah, man. We'll be back here later this week, man. Make sure to tune in. Peace.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.